What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another highly combustible reaction. We're jumping into something. The Yafashow, Dutch people's view of American people. This might be just like the Amsterdam Dutch people's view of American people, because I see it says Amsterdam up there. I know that the Netherlands is much, much more than any one province. So let's jump in. Let's check it out together. Let's see what we got. I'm sure it's going to be interesting. I'm sure they have a lot of very, very intriguing thoughts about American people. American people a lot of times just think that the rest of the world looks at us and says, oh, that's the greatest country in the world. And we've learned that that is most certainly not the case. Let's go.
Hi, my name is Yafa, and have you noticed where I'm standing? This city is one of a kind. It's the only city where you can smoke weed, drink alcohol, and take magic mushrooms legally. It's the city that averages the tallest people in the world. It's also the most dense city in all of Europe. Now, these are facts, but what about stereotypes? And more specifically, what are the stereotypes that the Dutch have on Americans? And we'll decide for ourselves that which is fact and which is stereotype.
Obviously, if you enjoy the content, get over and show the Yafashow some love. The link is right there in the description. Was that a whole herring shop? It does say herring. Oh no, it look like they got some hot dogs too.
When it comes to like stereotypes, what are some of the stereotypes that the Dutch people have about Americans?
My man is wearing an Oakland A's hat. He's definitely into some kind of American culture, aka baseball.
What are some of the stereotypes that the Dutch people have about Americans?
But the Americans, they're loud mouths, you know, they got a big mouth and they're loud. And
I think that if it's about Americans, that they're
my mouth is the average size, thank you.
like loud and noisy and talk very like overreacting, but also nice too, not only bad things.
I think big things. Everything's big because of the commercials in Amsterdam, in the Netherlands are when they talk about Americans that everything's big. I don't know.
Like
That's
everything, the
including
cars,
the people.
everything.
Yes, but just when you have a conversation with them, like, oh, okay.
Oh yes.
Yo, she does a very, very good American California girl impression though, right there.
With them, like, oh, okay.
Oh yes. So well.
The mighty question.
The mighty question, yes. That they think a lot of themselves. That's the big thing in my mind. That the Americans do think a lot of themselves. They think they're better than everybody else. That's my biggest problem with Americans. Sorry about that. If I'm offending you as an American.
No, it's all right. I can take it. I can take it.
Good.
When it comes to stereotypes, what are some of the stereotypes that the Dutch people have about Americans?
And I think they're just very individual. They're also very religious.
So what do you mean individual?
Yeah, well, like it costs Obama really a lot of efforts to get something like social health security pushed through. So people just want to be left alone on themselves and, well, a little bit look after yourself, and God looks after everybody.
Okay, so it's like everyone's out for themselves. There's no like, you have no backup. It's just like you're out there, out in the wilderness, and trying to survive.
Yeah, like that, yeah.
I'll say that part is true. We are definitely kind of those type to look out for ourselves. That's why it was so bizarre to me to see a whole bunch of Dutch artists that collaborate on things, that love doing things together, that have a huge respect for it. In America, it's more cutthroat. It's more every man for himself. I got to worry about me. I ain't got time to worry about anybody else.
It's just like you're out there, out in the wilderness, and trying to survive.
Yeah, like that, yeah. I think that's a little bit too black or white, but compared to other countries, most Western countries, I think America is a little bit more individual, yeah.
And another thing they really say a lot is they're fake.
They're fake?
Yeah, that's what they say.
What do you mean they're fake?
I mean, their eyelashes are, for
That's
sure.
what the Dutch people say about, oh yeah, the Americans, they're always so fake, they're always smiling and so cheerful, and you're their best friends, and yeah.
I'm a pretty cheerful dude. I don't know if y'all noticed.
Coming to my house, you know, and I think it's just very nice way of being, but Dutch people perceive it as fake.
When it comes to like stereotypes, what are some of the stereotypes that the Dutch people have about Americans?
Oh, that Americans are a bit like fake.
They're fake?
Yes, they're fake because they are extremely polite, which in Holland they are not. so that actually...
It depends on the part of America that you go to, whether or not you're going to run into more rude people or more hospitable people, people that will welcome you into their house to sit down and have a meal, that kind of thing. It all depends on the location. There are some very inhospitable places, but there are a lot of places where people just have a heart, where they look out for communities, where they have that kind of family spirit.
It can be like, hey, is it meant like that? You know, they're afraid that it's not
Genuine.
Exactly, because in Holland they are in that way genuine, sometimes rude.
Politeness. I think Americans are very polite, very friendly.
Nice, open and welcoming.
Yeah. No, it's not nice people, and a friendliness that we don't know in Europe. A more maybe slightly, maybe even naive friendliness, but it's from the heart, and we're not used to that in Europe.
Any other stereotypes that people have about Americans?
Also, I think they're intolerant on the whole. I think they are more intolerant than,
they are very intolerant
than say
people.
we are. I don't know, it's just, as I say, it's just that I think that they do think they are better than everybody else. That's all. And I don't like that idea that you are. I think we're all the same, and we all should feel that we're no better than anyone else. And, but nobody's better than us. That's my motto in life. We're no better than anyone else, but nobody's better.
That's the greatest quote I've ever heard. We're no better than anybody else, but nobody is better than us.
Better than us. That's my motto in life. We're no better than anyone else, but nobody's better than us.
What are some of the stereotypes that the Dutch people have about Americans?
Well, I think they assume that Americans feel that everything's big over there. So I should say that's a stereotype.
What do you mean big?
Well, you know, we have this impression that if Americans come to the Netherlands where everything is small, of course, that they compare and they think, you know, in America everything's bigger. And many things are big. It's a bigger country. And
so like bigger cars and bigger people.
Cars, yeah, exactly.
So what are some other stereotypes that the Dutch have about Americans?
We're bigger, wide, not tall.
Americans.
Patriotic, religious. But yeah, speaking loud, religious, patriotic, you got a few there.
Any more traditions or things that you don't understand about American culture?
You keep on trying. Many people, or the idea that many people are obese, that's another thing.
Everything they eat is way more than the rest of the world eats. They're all fat.
They eat a lot of fast food or something.
Like burgers and pizza.
Yeah, man. That's they're fat and
Well, they eat a lot. they eat big portions, is what I hear. I don't know from experience, but...
Oh, it damn sure is the truth. We like big portions. We always leave a restaurant with leftovers. Obviously, Yafa, he's doing well for himself. He's staying away from some kind of foods because the man's not your average American size.
That's what I hear.
And what kind of food do they eat? Big portions?
Yeah, of course, hamburgers and pizza.
Okay, so where'd you get these stereotypes from?
Well, people who've been there, television, magazines. Yeah.
So the people that have been there, they're like, oh my God, you got to see these burgers. They're huge.
Yeah, something like that, yes.
Are there any other stereotypes that you could think of?
Workaholic?
Workaholics?
Yes, never take holidays.
They're really easy to manipulate. For example, in this case, Donald Trump for president. I know a lot of Dutch people who really have their question marks with that sort of stuff.
I have question marks with everybody that we put up there for president. You're trying to tell me that those are the best of the best, the cream of the crop, the ones that we need in power? Out of all of America, then we are fucking doomed.
Dumb and ignorant. You see these little things on YouTube or wherever, TV, and then they interview an American and they go like, "Oh, do you know where Amsterdam is? Oh yeah, that's the capital of Germany." Or you know, they say things.
Yeah,
like
we're
this.
not very
so
worldly.
Their geological locations.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah.
Be more specific, things on high schools and universities, the sorority things, the student life seems that they're really easy to have intercourse with other people. They're really not that hard to get into bed, and it doesn't really depend on if they're here or if you're in America. You know, they really want something, and that's I think that's different. The fact that everything is really driven on cars and stuff. We do everything by bike. We walk a lot, and I think a lot of people think in America everything is automatic. Like the movie WALL-E, but in WALL-E everything is.
I'm gonna go ahead and say something about the bikes that he was just talking about. In this interview right here, I've seen 400 bikes. You got a whole bunch parked in the back. You got a whole bunch of people riding by. That's more bikes right here in one little 9-minute interview than I would probably see in 9 days in
America,
my hometown.
Everything is automatic. Like the movie WALL-E, but in WALL-E everything is sort of automatic, and at a certain point we will just get carried around in seats and that kind of stuff. I think a lot of people think that will start in the United States.
That people like to have weapons as well. The idea that they can protect themselves, that's something we...
The Second Amendment is something that we don't understand at all.
What is this amendment they're talking about?
Well, we know what the content is, we just don't know why you would have it.
So where'd you get these stereotypes from?
I think most of it is from the internet, from Facebook, from specific groups which bring out a media which is really focused on the way people look at things. Obviously, I think it's a lot of media pressure we have. A lot of programs we watch sort of have the same things as well. Especially when you're young, we get a lot of American programs to start with. I think it starts really early, actually. Most of it through media. I think most of it through media. Yeah.
So where'd you guys get these stereotypes from?
With stereotypes, you know, there's often some truth.
Yes, there is.
Of course, you come across Americans who confirm those kind of stereotypes. There are others who go against it. So with Obama, you know, many perceptions have been killed. Because there was this idea that America is ruling the world, that they intervene wherever they want to, and things are changing. So, but that's not an answer to your question.
We're in the great land of Germany, home of some of the greatest beers in the world. This great land has over 1,200 breweries and...
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The Yafashow with how the Dutch people view American people. Some very, very true. Like the one man said, a lot of stereotypes, if not all stereotypes, are based on some minuscule to maximum amount of truth. It's just the way that it works. Nobody just pulls things out of their backside. They normally find it on the internet. They normally find it in magazines. They get confirmation, like you said, from other Americans. I will confirm that a lot of what that was said there is absolutely true. We are not a very worldly people, and that's why I thank each and every one of you guys, my Dutchies, for pulling my head out of the sand. I used to be that kind of star-spangled stupid, but not anymore. I see the rest of the world is doing just as well, if not better, than they are here. I see a lot of the downfalls and pitfalls to being in America and to being kind of blind to the outside world. Hell, a lot of us can't even tell you any other countries on the map or where they're at, which is tragic to me. I didn't know any of that stuff till I started getting out and traveling. I've been to like 16 different countries now. Never had a problem in any of them with anybody. Nobody ever seemed to be that much worse off than we are. Nobody's ever seemed to be that much more superb than we are. It's just, I don't know. If we got taught more worldly things, if we got taught more about the worldly, we might be out. We might move to a different country. Maybe that's what they're afraid of. Maybe that's why they don't teach us. Hit the like button if you liked it, the dislike button, but I won't believe you. Get over and show the Yafashow some love for sure. The link's right there in the description. Till the next one, I'm highly combustible. You guys be happy, healthy, safe. I love you to the moon and back. Peace.